Oh.
Oh. What's going on?
Are you on the radio?
We're about to be. We're on right now.
Hey, no, brother.
What's going on? How you doing?
I saw you the other night. You were talking, and
I saw you had to do a little business back there.
Yeah. Well, I just got off an airplane.
Oh, really?
Where'd you come from?
So
just so you know, we are live. So
we're live.
You can tell the stories.
I went to L.A.,
Okay.
Houston, Jackson, Mississippi, back to Houston, Texas, all in a 4-day span.
Wow.
That's a lot of airplane time.
Yeah.
That is a lot of. What were you doing out in L.A.?
Buying California.
Just trying to buy
Buying
a
up California.
Yeah. I heard it's on sale.
Oh, right behind you.
Awesome. Oceanfront property.
There you go.
Property.
There you go. Were you meeting with bankers out there? That's usually what we do.
I was invited to go speak at a real estate deal.
Oh,
So
really?
they flew me out there.
Ooh, there you go.
Didn't pay me any money, but paid my hotel.
Hey, that
And
works.
I just did it. I knew the guys and friends with them, and
Okay.
went out there and spoke.
Yeah, that's good.
Thursday afternoon and flew back.
That's perfect.
I wasn't ever. The only thing I saw was LAX and the Marriott.
Yeah.
That's all I saw.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And is that not the worst airport on the planet?
It's busy.
Yeah. And it's
Busy.
like that almost 24/7.
Yeah.
There's no good time to go in and around.
No,
Yeah.
it's awful.
I hit it pretty good because going from the Marriott back over there, I just zoomed right through there.
Nice.
But they were telling me, people at the Marriott were telling me, you better go.
Yeah.
Right.
You're gonna miss your flight. Now I had no trouble, but I guess they know the reputation of what can happen over there, and I zoomed right through.
I literally jumped out of the shuttle vans and just ran.
It can take an hour just getting around that loop.
It
that
does.
we got in
Yeah,
LA.
I can
At
tell
least 30
that.
Yeah,
minutes.
it's nuts.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I had none of that.
Oh, good for you.
But I could tell
Yeah,
how that
it's a
could
tough
be
one.
a cluster. You
It's-
know what?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
awful.
For sure.
Whenever we go out there now, I'm like, I'll fly into Burbank, and then because Burbank
We
is
hooked
like
them up.
smaller than Hobby. Burbank is like
Burbank's
nothing
big,
airport.
Yeah.
So you can get in and get out pretty quick, but the problem is then if you're on the other side of LA, you got to go through LA traffic and all that.
Well, I've never spent a lot of time out there anyway,
Mhm.
but when I have, I've always gone through John Wayne down in Orange County.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
That's
yeah.
a much more nicer,
Oh,
friendlier.
yeah. That's the California you want to be in,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So LAX, I've been through a couple times, but not a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, when I was going to visit him on all those different events, it's like, we got to figure something out.
busy.
LAX
busy.
sucks.
I'm busy. I just tell you, I'm busy, but I think you might be off the Eddie busy.
Yeah.
Way off on that thing.
Yeah, it's
So
something else. So you're doing lunch and learn. What were you talking about down there?
I talked about the most difficult thing in our business today: managing contractors.
Oh, you think
yeah.
it's all the Harvey stuff and guys?
You know, it
Getting other
turned
work?
into a little bit of a Harvey discussion that wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
A lot of people had they just had questions. But it's really it's a presentation I've been doing for years, and
Mhm.
you kind of have to update a little bit. But it's just talking about it. It starts out with, all right, you got to make that decision. Are you going to be a general contractor, or are you
Right.
going to hire a general contractor?
Mm.
Okay, and if you don't hire a general contractor, you self-perform as your own GC. All the things you got to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you do hire a general contractor, that don't mean you walk away from.
That's
You
right.
better manage the GC.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, show up every now and then.
Right.
You
Now you're
better
project
manage.
manager versus
Well,
GC.
our rule at our office from way back has been if you got a rehab going, somebody from my office goes to that house at least every other day.
Mm.
At least. And that don't mean we don't go every day,
Yeah.
but at least
Well, for
every
sure.
other day.
Mhm.
Somebody, me, Debbie, construction manager, somebody's
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
You have to. Now, it's not that we know everything. We've experienced all these things you do wrong,
Mhm.
probably along the way somewhere after 19 plus years.
Mhm.
But that's, so I went through all that, and I,
That's good.
went through the do's and the don'ts and the golden rules, and
Mm. My biggest fear is when I pull up to a job, it's the middle of the week, and I don't see any bodies
Nobody's
on that
there.
project.
Oh,
It's like a heart attack. I come
Yeah.
around the corner, and I don't see any trucks, and you're like, you have got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Where are these guys?
Yeah.
It's my heart
We
just
experienced
sinks. Yeah.
yeah. Or you show up at 2:00 on a Thursday and they're all on smoke break.
Yeah.
And you show up at 10 a.m. the next morning, Friday morning, they're all on smoke break.
Yeah, you're like, wait
Guess
a
what?
second.
Guess what? They're always on smoke break.
That's right.
For sure, right?
Somebody told me once, they said, who was it that told me this? They said something hilarious. They said, if the guys are you got contractors, and if the guys are on the project, they're not working, you have consultants. And I was like, that is rich. I'm going to use that one.
Yeah. Every contractor is
so now you got these guys smoking their consultants at this point, right?
Here's a good one that I touched on quite heavy. Sequencing.
Yeah.
I walk in a lot of houses that jet lending clients are working on, and you walk in, and here's the example, and it is real, it's not made up. You walk in, and they got the most beautiful granite countertops, and they're all painting the kitchen. And guess what's on top of the granite countertop?
Paint cans.
Paint cans.
Yeah, rollers,
But I see it all the time, and it's frustrating to see that. It's like common sense. Don't put the granite in until later. And the same thing with the flooring. They'll be standing on the most beautiful wood floors, and they'll be slapping paint everywhere, and the wood floors are in.
Yep. And they're there with their boots on, and they're just tearing the floor up.
And it makes no sense. I'm not trying to be negative or critical, but that's mistakes we see made.
Basic stuff. Top down, right?
Yeah, I mean, even if you knew nothing,
right,
you should know you don't put the wood floors in before you paint.
The best book for really learning how to rehab is that book Flip by Rick Vellani. In fact, I got it in here. Hold on, because it's got a schedule in it that is just incredible. Hold on.
Are we on Facebook and other
30 people or so watching us, There's Eddie. It's from Jet Lending. I threw your number up there, 281-872-7800.
Thank you.
Best hard money lender in all of Southeast Texas. Yeah, we got beat up by some contractors. Ours are moving a little bit better now, but basic stuff, top down, right? You paint, and then you go ahead and and it's so much easier to paint before you do your kitchen, especially if you're not putting the cabinets in because they just spray this much, right? They're done with the kitchen in 10 minutes.
Let me give you another example why you're not very spot in the book. Here's one I see all the time that's a pet peeve of mine. You don't pull the old carpet out initially. We always pull the carpet out immediately, but you walk into a house, they're painting, and the old carpet's still there. What's going to happen? You're going to scuff up the baseboards that you're painting, or you go in with a new carpet and pad, and maybe the thickness is a little different, and you got the little line on your baseboard.
Right, now you got to put a piece of quarter round down or something like that.
Repaint. It's just, the common sense, but you just be surprised.
So
is that on audio? Is that on audio book?
They do, but it's really good to just have a handy copy of it. But in the appendix, so they've got, here's the 101 of basically, hey, we just bought a house. What do we do next, right? And you go through Rick's checklist. He's got a calendar in here, and I can't find it right now. But it's great. So 4 different design levels and finish. So basic, standard, and it goes through each one of the components. It is a phenomenal book.
Who wrote that? Eddie Gant?
No, Eddie Gant could have written this book. Eddie Gant.
That's my alias.
I think he was a
nom de plume. Yes.
I think Rick was a Homevestors franchisee. Him or Clay, one of those.
I don't know him. I don't know him.
They're out of Austin.
Yeah, I don't mean that I don't know him. I'm an audiobook guy.
Me too.
And that's good. It's hard to be running down the road and when they refer to the charts and things. That's tough.
That's right.
I'm an audiobook.
Diagram 3.4.
I don't sit still long enough to read a book.
Really, the problem I have is I just get too distracted with everything else. So it is kind of nice when I can sit down and just read, but it just doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
So I have a app called Blinkist, and it gives you basically every audiobook in 20 minutes.
Really?
So you can just rip through all the highlights and stuff. It's basically an executive summary.
Wow.
Executives don't read the books.
Right.
That's what that is. And so there's like 500 books in there.
You know what I'm listening to now?
What are you listening to?
You're about to write this down. You're going to like this.
I got the race table. We got this table just for you.
I bet you've already listened to it.
I don't know. Let's see.
Never Split the Difference.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good book.
Yes.
You would be deadly because you're so good at sales now reading that book in print. You probably see
I got it
some
on
other
audio.
stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I got it on audio.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I don't sit still and read books. I'm an audio guy.
Yeah.
Get in the headphones on the plane.
Yeah.
Listen
Windshield time, right?
Yeah. That's a good book, isn't it? It's great.
That dude's good now.
He's very good. He's very good.
You know his background? Do you
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
He was
FBI.
hostage
negotiator. Yeah.
And how he came up with the name, never split the difference. He says, you can't talk to a bank robber who's holding 4 hostages and say, all right, you give me 2, you take 2, and we'll call it with that. You can't do that. It's all, you got to get it all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Never
For sure.
split the difference, you know?
Yeah. I'll tell you another one I really like is the guy's he's a lawyer. Something no, just get them to know. Start with no, I think is the name of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what his background is in litigation, but he also understands the psychology. And he said, humans, in particular, Americans, don't make a decision until they say no.
Mm-hmm.
And when I've heard you talk about negotiating between you and a seller, you follow that. What I've heard you talk about, you follow that prescription, right? Once we get to a no, great. Now the negotiating starts.
Yeah.
That's his point.
He says that and never split the difference. He goes, he talks about pose your offer that you know you're going to get a no.
Yes.
He goes, well, that's when it starts.
Yeah. He
For
says
sure.
the exact same thing. Yeah.
That's when it starts.
Yes. We've had some fun with that recently.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm going through Gary Keller's book.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty good.
Do you know where Keller Williams now?
We're KW guys.
No, I did not know.
He and I started a real estate team up in Lance Loken's office.
Oh, now I knew you was with Lance Loken, but I
Yeah.
didn't know. See, I don't associate. I didn't know Lance was Keller.
Was a
Williams. I
Keller
know the
guy.
name.
Yeah.
Lance
If
Keller,
you said me a multiple choice, I'd say, well, he's either Remax, or
right.
he's Keller Williams,
Yeah.
or he's one of the other big boys, Berkshire Hathaway, or
Yep.
whoever else you want to throw in there.
Yeah, so he has a team, and they also, gave him a market center. So we're in his market center.
Yeah. I've never met him. I'd like to meet him sometime.
They're pretty cool people.
Pretty
He and his
low-key,
wife
yeah.
are pretty, very
Obviously successful.
very, And when you go to their office, so he's got the Keller Williams Platinum office. That's his market center. And then his actual brokerage is just right down the street. So we hung out with him and Karina and our team and did a little Facebook Live with them.
Yeah.
And it's just regular old folks, but they are highly metrics driven. When you walk into the hallway, they have all these metrics of
My
all their
goodness.
agents. And they literally, it's a push board with a pen.
Thousands of thumbtacks.
And they're moving thumbtacks down the, offer, accepted,
Right.
option, and old school.
Yeah.
I love it.
So you know what he does every Saturday?
Oh, nice.
Imagine Remax calling right now. Yeah. Hey, well, I'll say this. I won't turn into a commercial or anybody, but I had this conversation the other night it was last night at the White Picket event.
Mhm.
The guy, he's like maybe 21, 22, 23. He's going through real estate school. And I said, what are you going to do? He's going to hang his license at some no name.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And I said, well, there's benefit for that because your expenses are going to be low. Not any overhead.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but you need to rethink this. And I actually said this. I said, you need to consider Keller Williams, Remax, somebody like that, because yes, it may cost you a little money to be there, but the training you're going to get is invaluable, and knowledge will make you money. And you've heard me say this a million times. Small improvements, small adjustments in what we do pay huge.
That's right. Yep.
Yep.
And it's gradual, right? Especially if he's a young guy. It's like 20-something. And you're like, geez, man, you can build a monster portfolio.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that because when we were looking at the brokerage option, we were going to start our own brokerage or, hang our hat, if you will, underneath something smaller. And then I said, you know what? Let's get in with a big boy. And we've been tinkering around in the CR. Keller Williams really has 3 CRMs.
That's outstanding.
And you get in there, incredible.
Absolutely. Their training
incredible.
program is, I've never been to Keller Williams, but I know the training, I know the reputation of it. And I got friends just Keller Williams, or Remax went Keller Williams, Keller Williams went Remax. It's outstanding.
Yeah.
And you get similar at Remax if you take advantage of it. But going with the small firm, I understand why. But you may be stepping over dollars to pick up a nickel.
Especially when you're young in your career. What I looked at is when we got into that Keller office and looking at Lance's portfolio, they're 2,200 closings a year. It's a machine over there. So then I start thinking, well, what if we started offering them the cash now option? What if we just started training their agents on what investors are looking for? Can I pick up a couple more houses a year? Absolutely. With that much volume, you're not going to get that at the small shop. That's the problem.
That's right.
I'll tell you, if they join our team, so we're taking care of our agents. We just want them to perform. So because they're on a team, their cap is $7,500 a year. That's pretty darn cheap, right?
That's cheap.
Right?
That's cheap.
And plus all the training that comes with Keller, and then we pick up their HAR fees, their super fees, their Trex fees, their Keller fees,
all that stuff.
even take care of their Texas tags, right? We want them just going and getting deals.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? I don't want to hear about gas costs or any of that stuff. Just go and do your work, right? So we think we offer a pretty good value add for our business model here.
Yeah, here's another advantage if you're Keller Williams and Remax, and I promise you this is real. If you're on the other end of the phone talking to an agent, the minute they either know or you tell them or they already knew you're Remax or Keller Williams, you get treated differently.
I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You get treated differently.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's one of the reasons why I've said this for years is that if you're going to go out and make offers to sellers, to homeowners, you ought to be licensed. Now, to you and I, the difference between a real estate investor that has a license or not making an offer, it doesn't matter. But in the eyes of the public, there is a significant portion of the public that believes that they cannot sell a piece of real estate without a realtor. And you don't want to be sitting across from that guy that says, oh, you're not licensed, and the two other guys coming through the door are, you will never have a shot at that deal.
I would agree with that. And they also think, the general public thinks, if you're a licensee, that you're honest.
Yes. You're held to a higher standard, right?
You're not going to screw them. You're not going to jack them.
Yeah.
And that's real.
Yeah.
Right.
They look at it like not with the same level of esteem, but they know doctors are licensed and lawyers and engineers.
Versus the 22-year-old with a one-page contract, right?
Right, yeah. So you're following up the 22-year-old with the one-page contract, and you're like, I'm a licensed realtor. I own this company, and I know you can't. Here's the challenge in our business. Our challenge is credibility, right? Because there's not a big store that says Home Investors on it, right? It's a guy in a truck that's going to look at the house. So they can't distinguish between us and somebody that doesn't perform. So being a licensed agent is a huge way to cover that gap.
So coming back to Lance, so what we were told is every Saturday he's taking listing appointments. His office lines him up with 15 listing appointments, and he goes through one by one.
You mean somebody in this town in real estate works on Saturday besides
That's what he told us. Like, just put me on listing appointments. I close 14 out of 15.
Yeah.
So we heard the statistics that agents, even a bad agent, will close 1 out of 2 listing appointments. We were like, oh my God, we've been spinning our wheels wholesaling all our lives.
So this was so funny. I'm sitting there in one of those agent. I'm chatting with Rich Nickel one night because he actually works in Lance's brokerage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Rich, what's a bad agent close? Like, if you're terrible, 50%. I'm like, excuse me? 50%. You know how much we got to fight to get one deal on the investor side? And then we're chatting with a couple of guys over at the Keller Williams Platinum in Lance's group. And they're like, oh, yeah, you ought to be closing 70, 80%. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's insane. So it's a whole different world on the retail side.
In a minute, I got to go. I'll leave you with this. You probably heard me say that. I got in this in 99. It's changed totally about agency because in 99, very few investors were licensed. And the trend, or the dominating thing was not to be licensed.
Right.
And that's totally different now.
Yeah.
Most of the big investors and most investors in general are licensees.
Yep.
I don't.
Do you agree?
No, I totally agree with that. I think if you're going to be a professional, and most of the guys that you and I work with all day, they're all professionals.
Then be a professional.
Then they need to be licensed.
Right.
And I think the idea that, if I'm not licensed, I can get away with some stuff. That's not true. You're an investor. They know you're sophisticated. You ever had to go to court? You're sophisticated whether you're licensed or not, right? I mean, I think that was always the stigma. It's like, well, I'm donning extra liability. I'm like, you got it anyway. You're
the only guy who's pitching that is selling a 997 wholesale class, right?
Well, that's true.
That's the only guy pitching that line.
Well, it's like LLC. Oh, I'm the guy. Oh, the LLC, I'm protected.
No.
They're going to sue the LLC. They're suing you personally.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's the first L stands for limited. For a good reason.
Yeah.
It's limited.
Right.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying you got to understand that, anybody that comes after you is going after every entity you have.
That's right.
And you personally.
Yeah, if they have the resources to go after you, then they're going after it.
The key is you run your business right so you limit those exposures.
Right.
And somebody, if you're big enough in this business, happens to me about once every 2 or 3 years, it's what I call a money grab.
Oh yeah,
They come after me because I'm big
Mhm.
and wanting to get some money, and it's inevitable. You just run your business right, though. You limit those.
Yeah, absolutely. They end up running up against a wall, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I always thought the whole, I'm LLC, I'm protected. I'm like, well, let's be honest here. The vast majority of most real estate investors, most of their net worth is in real estate, right?
That's
Now
right.
it's in multiple
That's right.
LLCs,
That's
but still, it's like you're going to end up in court. You got to be ready.
If you do enough deals, somebody's going to come after you.
For
You'll
sure.
accidentally make somebody mad, or you have a really, really serious total disagreement where you think you're right and they think they're right,
Mhm.
or it's a money grab.
Mm.
They think they can sue you and you're going to write them a check
Yeah,
for
the predators,
mediation.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
thanks for
guys,
coming up. I
I'm
appreciate it.
I'm
Thank
heading
you very
to
much for a
Dickinson.
little bit of time.
Oh,
Heading
yeah.
to Dickinson.
Nice.
Say hi to, we got a house down there.
Well, we're looking at one of your houses right now in San Leon.
Which one?
It's one on the water.
Oh, Terry's down there looking at the
Yeah, just
rehab
looked at
one?
it, yeah. You want to see the pictures? You got a guy walking
You
right
sent it
now.
out. It's a flip house.
Oh,
Probably
Cliff
a-
Street.
Yeah,
Cliff Street's a block from the water.
Mm.
I was thinking on the water.
he's walking right now.
Yeah, it's Cliff Street. All the yellow paint. Yeah,
Yep.
it's Cliff Street. It's foreclosure. We just foreclosed on it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
So
yeah.
how you doing it?
We're going to send over to Johnny, tell him our number, and see if we can make it work.
Yeah. It's Cliff Street. It's one block from the water.
Yeah,
So
well,
I
we
will
like
tell-
Airbnb down there. So
I
we
will
might
tell
do
you
that.
guys this. Y'all need to be on the Jet Lending email list. I sit there. I never really looked at it before. And then we bought, I don't know how many houses we bought from you guys in the last couple of months. But it's like, I see these deals come across. And I'm like, you guys have got some sweet little deals in there.
I got my
On the
rental
email
from him.
list.
in
Yeah.
Katy. Yeah.
Yeah, that property and then this one. There's some pretty good little deals in there.
Is he asking a question?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Never split the difference.
Yeah, those are the two. Flip
Yeah,
and never
those are the
split
two.
difference, Scott. Yeah.
That is it's great.
Yeah, that's a good book.
I keep wanting to say August because it starts at April 17th. I'm predicting a record crowd at the Redneck Country
It's going to be
Club.
crazy. Get there early.
Yep.
Get
You know
there
why I'm
early.
predicting record crowd?
Mark's there.
Dr. Mark Dotzer's there.
Yeah.
Yep, for
And the
sure.
weather's probably going to be fantastic.
Pretty good, yeah.
Get there
So
early.
if you don't have a parking spot right next to
Yeah.
the building, you need to get there
Yeah.
early, right?
You got to get there early.
You've heard him speak, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, isn't he?
Very good. I remember watching him at Lifestyles 5-6 years ago.
He's fantastic. He's the best.
phenomenal.
He used to give the economy, he used to put it in a baseball analogy, third inning,
Mhm.
fourth inning,
Yeah.
fifth inning,
Yeah.
seventh inning. I heard him speak in December, and he's changed his analogy from the baseball analogy to an airline flight. Take
Oh,
off,
nice.
Yeah.
acceleration, climbing,
Sure.
leveled off,
Cruising,
autopilot,
Mhm.
initial approach, final approach,
Oh,
landing, crash. That's his analogy. Now,
That's
I'm
good.
expecting when he speaks in a couple of weeks for us, he's going to be still on that flight analogy. on
Good.
Where the
Give us a good
economy
update.
is,
Yeah.
of where the economy is.
So I'm doing a webinar Thursday night with my predictions. I want to see how close I am because I did this last year before the event. I went back. We were almost singing from the same song, but it was pretty close.
This webinar.
Yeah, I'll do a webinar Thursday night.
We're doing a lot more webinars. Thanks a lot.
again.
All right, thanks a lot, man. It's
As
good to
always,
see you, as
my friend.
always.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Mr. Texas Real Estate.
Hey, I like
That's
that.
right,
I need to
Mr.
get you a
Texas.
badge, man. I need to get you a badge.
Eddie Google. Don't
Eddie,
forget.
that's right.
Eddie Google. Ask Eddie at Eddie Google at w.eddiegoogle.com.
I love it. I love it.
All right, see you
Take
guys.
care.
All right, see you, man. That's hilarious.
That's always fun.
Yeah. So he just happened to be, hey, Curtis, he just happened to be hanging around
In the
downstairs.
neighborhood, yeah.
It's funny. Why would you put an office in the Quest Trust
I have
building?
no idea.
Why would we do
I
that?
know. It's so stuffy in here.
High atop the Quest Trust
Crown
building.
jewel.
This is the crown jewel. In fact, we were talking about the crown jewel today. We're going to have to get some bigger office space, and I think we're going to have to move some people out. And I believe Rob and I were talking about converting this entire office into studio and office just for me and him. And we were talking about what that looks like. So when you guys next year or so, you may come up here and it looks like a TV studio with 2 desks in the corner and a refrigerator and some snacks. So that's like a giant green room.
when we go over $10 million
Mhm.
at the market center, we can then get our own office.
Oh, I didn't know that. Does it have to be on that side of town?
There's certain
Okay, there's little rules.
Yeah, but we can. Yes.
Okay.
The other side of town is right there on Highway 6. It's
Okay.
not
So
far.
we're like a couple of
I'm
blocks.
telling you, Jackrabbit Road.
Oh man, So we need our no. I look at
Mr.
that.
Texas Real Estate, 101 Jackrabbit
I
Road.
know.
Come on.
Donnie brought us a house yesterday that would have been perfect if we were a little bit
very
closer.
Nice, yeah.
We're looking at buying a house as an office.
And we can put our office anywhere.
That's
it doesn't
true.
matter. We just have to have our team and our license and all that stuff going through their office, which is fine. So,
which is geographically fixed, right?
Right.
So,
there's definitely some geofix there. Yeah. So we'll do it. But that's funny. There's
Paris. He's been calling me Paris lately. Nice. Jason Paris Bible.
Yes.
So, the French guy.
So yeah, we'll have our own office space, and then we can move the fund.
Yeah, all that other stuff.
All that stuff, and just really use this for marketing.
We're expanding. You guys saw our new hire today. I posted on Facebook. I expect that to make a little bit of waves.
Yes, wonderful.
Veronica, Mama Bear, is back on board.
We got the Mama Bear.
And we got Mama Bear. She is so excited. We are so excited to have her. She's a lot of fun. A lot of you guys have worked with her. She's going to help us in a couple of different capacities, so y'all get to see her a lot more. Curtis, I know we did the podcast yesterday. It was absolutely phenomenal. I'm seeing close to 1,000 views in 24 hours.
Nice.
And literally just like I put it on my Facebook page, and I know you guys shared it a couple of your pages. I mean, we really didn't make a big deal about it. I just started the YouTube channel, and Curtis, I'm renaming our meetup group to not Jason Curtis's Happy Hour, but to the Houston Real Estate Experience, HRE2. HRE squared. Yeah. I've already got you erased it, didn't you?
I did.
Dude, I had all my logos right there. We're doing some logo packages. Did he? Okay. We got some logos we're going to do.
If we did, I'll buy them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
A-Rock did it.
A-Rock did it, yeah. Just blame that guy. All right, so what do we got written here? We got some exciting news. This is one of my
very exciting news. Yes. So we're coming off the road for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we have been road warriors. You in Fort Worth, and then back up to Dallas for
Papilio,
right? And then Sugarland Energy Corridor, and then both of us been going to California.
Yeah, we've been wearing out the California flights, right?
New Jersey for me, and then I go to Austin and San Antonio, and that's just become a little too much. So we can be better at what we do by putting this stuff online. So we're going to move a couple of our clubs online. So the folks that are coming out to San Antonio will now be able to just pop right in online and go through the marketing and Airbnb and the contractor package and all that stuff we've been doing. So that should be pretty good. So we're going to move, I'd say, about half the clubs online.
Yeah.
And the other half are going to stay put.
Yeah. We decided to go online in part because Scott Carson's been kicking me in the ass for 3 years on do it online.
Right, and let me tag him real quick. And he was great enough to invite us to a little mastermind
back in December.
Yeah, back in December. That basically said, "Hey, you guys are
killing yourselves."
Stuff. Yeah, and he said about 6 months, so we're 2 months early. What's your YouTube channel name, please? It's Mr. Texas Real Estate?
So we've got 2 YouTube channels. One of them is search for
Mr. Texas Real Estate.
Mr. Texas Real Estate. And then the other one is
do we have the Texas Real Estate Radio Network up there yet?
So he's supposed to rename that to the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. And then the other one is Houston Real Estate Experience.
Ooh,
I just renamed that one. It just started, so I don't know if it's published.
Have you ever been experienced?
I don't know what that means, but it sounds. I don't know.
Jimi Hendrix
sounds kind of fun. So that's that'll be up on YouTube. I'm uploading the video right now. It may actually be finished and published, but I will tell you this: it's 3.5 hours. The audio, we're trying to figure that out. So I'm bringing A-Rock out. Curtis told me this. The guys at D&T Drive-In, the bar we were at, they want us to come back out.
Great.
So we are going to go back out. They really liked having us there, so that might be our new home. It's right there in the Heights inside Brooksmith. How do I know it's in Brooksmith? Because there was a sign as I drove in and hit Enid. I'm like, oh, this is Curtis's neighborhood. So honestly, I had no idea where Brooksmith was. I just knew it was by 59 and 40, somewhere over there inside the loop. So inside the loop may as well be covered in lava for all I know. I don't do anything in there.
Scott, for sure, look at Mr. Texas Real Estate, see if that's up. Okay, yeah, we're figuring it out. It's okay. I can get to it. Yeah, we have the radio show. We're doing some of this stuff, and we're getting a lot more foot traffic through the office.
Yes.
So that's been fun. And every time someone interesting comes in, we put them on.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, and they don't have to pay us $1,000 to get on. They can just pop in. So, Jason, what our membership looked like before was the local mastermind.
Yep.
Right? So that was once a month. Then there was a once a month national call.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then there was we have training webinars, which we've got some of those up there, forms and contracts. Our Facebook group, which doesn't get enough. I think there should be a lot more Q&A in there because there's some really, really smart people on our Facebook group.
There's some crazy smart folks in our group, and it's really quiet in there. It's kind of funny to see. So we got our Facebook group.
And then we have our deal hotline.
Oh, that's right.
Which mostly just people
just calling us anyway.
Hey, what's the deal? And then our lenders. And we're about to expand our lenders big time.
Yeah.
So
one of the things
because we're getting into these small apartments now and we're figuring out that world.
So one of the things that we have worked really hard on the last 2 months is expanding our lending network. And we have now got, I don't want to call it a concierge service, but we're looking at Eddie is fantastic. Jet Lending does a phenomenal job. Short term, we borrow from them. Long term is a challenge. And it's a challenge when you start doing volume. When you start doing small apartments, there's not a lot of lenders out there. So we've been in the process of vetting these folks and establishing relationships with them as we close deals. And so we want to take those relationships and give those to you guys as well.
And we're seeing some very specific challenges, all right? Like multi houses on one.
Yeah, one lot. Who does that?
One APM, right? No one is doing that, right? Because they're like, we don't know what to do, right? So we've hit that wall over and over, but man, they cash flow like mad.
Yeah.
So it's hard to turn those away, and we have to go either to private money or find someone. And so we have found a few people. So we'll be expanding out that lender network. And there's a couple other things that we're doing, proximity events. I know we're going to go have breakfast with Ashley one of these days. But we've expanded out is we've doubled the national call. So you get 2 of those. Those are Q&As, straight up Q&As. And then we still have the Energy Corridor, Corpus Christi, Galveston, Dickinson one, Dallas, right? And we'll do Sugar Land from time to time. But essentially, they'll still be there, so you guys can attend all of them now.
You can pop in.
You can pop into anyone and attend those local masterminds. There's no more gates.
Yeah.
You can freely travel amongst any of those. So if you want to do the mastermind in Dickinson and then 2 days later do it in the Energy Corridor, we're totally fine with that, right? And what they will now get is if you're a member for $100 a month and or $1,000 a year, is all these one-day events we're doing for $97, they're free now.
And we're doing them all online.
We're doing them all online. They're all free. You'll get the recording for free, no problem. We do vendor Q&A. So, we had Donnie in here yesterday. We just, obviously with Jet in here. It would have been really good to go back and forth with some Q&A, right?
Yeah.
And
so
now
this is a live. We're doing a
live webinar, right? Twice a month with our vendors doing Q&A. Sometimes it'll be a half hour, sometimes it'll be 2 hours. You'll be able to jump on and ask, the plumbing question, the loan question, the inspection.
I'm in the middle of this deal. What's going on?
Right, what is it all, right? And so then you have pushed us to do Meetup Mondays.
Meetup Mondays.
And that's all online. And that is an education topic each month, every other Monday. If you do one, I do one. So we're going to give away a lot of education on there, and it's free to anyone, really the first 100 people that show up. Because that's our capacity right now, it's 100.
So what we'll do is before that Meetup Monday,
we'll do the Q&As, right?
At 9 o'clock at night, we do a Q&A just for our members every other week. So get on the webinar. It doesn't matter where you're at. Doesn't have to be Texas. Doesn't have to be Houston. Hey, I got a problem with a rehab. I got this. I got that. We'll take the questions submit it beforehand because we don't want to open it up to everybody on the webinar. People kicking the dog and screaming at the kids, all that other stuff. We'll take all your questions. We'll answer your questions in the first hour. The second hour is open to the public where you can
do some training.
And we'll do some training on, marketing, raising money, Airbnb, small apartments, all that sort of stuff.
Now, if you're a member, you'll get access to the recording.
Yes.
So the recording will be in our library, so you won't be able to miss anything at this point. So that's a lot of our feedback has been, are you guys coming to California?
even my guys in Sugar. I mean, half my guys come from like River Oaks and the Woodlands, and they're like, you guys have got to get this online. And I'm like, I know, but right now it didn't work that way.
When you come to Denver, when you come to Alaska, right? It's like, all right, listen, we'll just put
all the Seattle. I got a bunch of Seattle people. Like
90% of the stuff is online now.
Yeah, we're just putting it all online.
So it's $100 a month or $1,000 a year. You pick which one you want to pay. If you're interested, go ahead and just message us or fire off, or we'll put a link out here. You're probably getting our spam anyway, so we're going to hit you up with that. But
there will be a lot less of it, I can tell you.
But we're moving it online, and it's not. Here's what we're not doing, Jason.
Okay.
We're not doing a 1-hour pitch online, right?
Because that's boring.
It's boring, and once you've seen it all. So we're doing Meetup Mondays, which are 2 straight up education sessions.
Yeah.
Like and I've got 3 years of it, right? And you've got a whole bunch. So straight up, here's 40 minutes of education, 20 minutes Q&A.
Yep.
Thank you for hanging out tonight. Everyone go to bed now.
Yeah.
And then we have our vendors coming up, and you know, I like to bust their chops a little bit. I like to ask the real questions.
Yep.
You know, it's like, you know, really 3 points.
Yeah.
So we ask those questions, and then we have all the so if you're a member now, you can come to all the $97 events for free.
So we do, if you guys aren't familiar, we do, if you go to the AmericanREMU.com, you'll see
and I'll just tell you
classes.
The caveat on that is if you pay the $1,000.
Okay.
Because someone can pay $100, come to 3, and then.
Yeah. So, we do these classes about once a month, and they're what we call the core classes.
3.
Yeah, you got Airbnb, marketing.
Saturday is marketing. Yeah, marketing is going to be kick-ass.
Yeah.
Airbnb, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to get our recording in for money coaching.
Oh,
because we promised California we would do it.
We would do money coaching. So we're going to do a money one on following Saturday.
Then in May, we have Merrill coming in.
Mm-hmm. Credit sets.
That's going to be awesome.
How to get commercial credit without doing silly stuff like getting a bunch of credit cards.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
This is like real commercial credit.
Real stuff. So what he does now is he's going to do a 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to come. He's going to give the hour away, and he's going to do the 1 day for I think $197, whatever it is. But in that 1 day, he gives you the whole plan. He gives you the whole training book.
Mm-hmm. If
you want to do it yourself, here it is, step by step. Here it is. If you want to hire us to do it, then you hire us to do it at 3 different levels now.
Yeah.
So I really like his program now. I just got off the phone with him and Jessica. They're very excited coming out. They'll also be our guests on the radio show.
Okay.
So, hey, man, you got to hold back on the partying a little bit.
Did you tell them, boy, it's 7 a.m., kids. It's an early one.
Merrill likes to have a little fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they were good time.
Yeah.
Everybody's a good time in that group.
And I got to tell you, Merrill is for sure a professional speaker.
Oh, he's amazing.
And he is a master of his topic, right? So he's not hacked like you and I in front of the room. He's clean. He's polished.
He's very good.
And he knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's very good.
Right? He didn't just buy it, white label it from Ron LeGrand, and then go on a crowd across the country to teach it. This guy knows his stuff. He's there at the beginning of this industry. He understands it.
So this is, if you guys want to see where the industry is heading on the finance side and building commercial lines of credit, this is it. No one teaches what he teaches. Not a soul.
It's amazing.
And it's really good. I've been to his class. I've had him down here before. He's really good. So we're really excited. I think that's going to be a fun week in May.
And we're going to try and get, I think, Casey.
Ooh, is Casey going to come to town?
I think we're going to shoot. I think June. Otherwise, he ain't coming. He ain't sweating in July and August here.
I wouldn't either. All the places he loves.
So yeah, right. He's a San Diego guy. We'll try and get Casey out in June, and I'd love to get George Anton back in the fall.
Oh, George would be good.
So I got a little bone to pick with George Anton.
You watching George?
I'm going to tag George right now. Because he said to me, hey, I'm trying not to go to all.
Oh, he's trying not to travel.
Trying not to travel a lot. He's on the Linda Plagueis' road show, Realty 411. I'm like, nice. You're doing that? Seriously?
Yeah.
Get to Texas, will you?
Come on, man.
So George Anton is a great guy. Look him up, man. He is for sure another guy who understands it at a different level than most
understands people. Finance at a very high level for real estate investors.
And then and Casey's a master of marketing, networking at a much, much higher level, right? And it's just everyone else is a pale comparison, right? He gives so much, people can't even copy what he gives because it's just so much content. So I think we get those 3 guys, I think we'll have a really, really successful year.
Oh, yeah.
Because those guys for sure are just doing something much different.
We work with Casey. We are his clients.
We're in his mastermind.
Yeah, we're in his mastermind. Yep. It's really good. He's amazing.
Let's give Casey a book.
Give old Case a plug. If you can spell his name right.
That's it.
There's not an L in there?
Nope.
Oh, Eberhard. Okay. It was a Silent L or something.
Maybe. He's not a silent guy.
Yeah.
So we're going to be you'll be seeing this. You'll be seeing these emails. We want to get you signed up. It's $100 a month or $1,000 a year. If you do the $1,000 option, you get all the 97 one-day classes free.
Free, yeah. Which we do once a month.
Which we're going to do once a month, but this month we happen to be doing 3.
You guys, I get a lot of people that say, "Hey, Jason, can you answer this question?" I'm like, "No, I can't. I mean, you really need to put it on Facebook or something." This is a great opportunity to just send us an email, and Veronica is going to help us out with a lot of this sort of stuff.
Yep.
And then we'll just have this big Q&A every other week. It's like, here's all the questions, and we'll just bang them out. We're going to record them, drop them in that, so you guys can ask, or we'll answer it live. Now, here's what I will tell you. If it's a complicated question, we may unmute your mic and go back and forth for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
So if you guys really wanted some advice from Rob and I, this is the best way to do it. So pretty cool. It's going to be. We've been really excited about this. We've been talking about it for months, and it's going to be a really fantastic.
So I think we're going to do
bi-weekly event.
Here, hold on. Here's acid. I can do it for around 30.
Oh, that's a rehab?
Yeah, and I think they said 20 to 25. So we're close.
Close on the numbers.
So
another flip.
We're off by 9,000.
Off by $9,000. That's
We're off
not
by
bad.
$9,000. He said he took it back.
Is the ARV is ARV right? I didn't look at any of that stuff.
You think the ARV? I thought the ARV was. He said 325 all day.
Yeah.
Which to me tells me 299. Like anytime a wholesaler says
all day,
you're going to get 320 all day long, like, oh, 299.
299.
So let's go through those numbers.
275.
Right.
I don't have my laptop in here, so I can't pull up my account.
I'll do it real quick. So let's call it 30K at 200. We're at 230 over 325 or over 300, right?
So where are we at on it?
So 230 divided by 300. This is a 76% deal down here. And 230 divided by 325 is a 71% deal. So
which, I mean, for a flip, I'm not. With the level of work that needs, I would be comfortable at pretty close to 76%. A little bit less.
Yeah, we're going to look for a private lender who's going to do 10% on that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Private lender comes in for all of it. Don't worry about the gap. We can do that. We'll do that. It also feeds our real estate team. So they'll get the listings.
Yep.
Or we'll take a really heavy look at it and see if we want to do Airbnb with it because we like that area.
Mm-hmm.
It's not far from NASA.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to go on that if we can get it at 200.
I bet they can do 200. We'll see. I don't think it flooded. Do they not know? Or
no, I don't think it did either. There was some issue with the roof. I think it was
so it was like a roof leak, and that's why they had to rehab it. It was all torn up from the water intrusion.
Yeah, and they did new windows, and they're on there. There's a little.
What is your guys' target ARV most of the time? We want to be above $200,000.
200 to 330.
Yeah, 2 to 330. Well, we do 5, 6s, sure. You really don't want to be under 200 grand. Really don't be.
And we talked about that with Donnie because the FHA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So most first.
Did he tell you what the jumbo was? Did you ask him yesterday or no?
Yeah, or something.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. What the FHA jumbo loan is?
I thought it was 462.
It's some squirrely number.
Yeah.
It's never an even.
And this isn't 230 either. This is 330. This is like 349 or something like that. So for us here, Scott, it really depends where you're at. And I would just go and look up your county and put FHA maximum loan value. And that will tell you where 70% of the market can afford. Right? It's based on the loans they can get. FHA, Fannie Mae do 50% of all the loans.
Harris is 484, 350. Does that sound familiar?
That's a jumbo, right?
That's the jumbo.
But the QM
is a 331, 200. That's the FHA 1 unit limit.
Yep, 331.
So there's a GSA limit and FHA limit. So the smaller one's the FHA limit.
Which is most of your first time, right? 3.5% down. Yep. Under 5%. So that's what we're doing. So we're trying not to go over that 330. Like our perfect listing is 329.
Yeah.
Right?
I like them close to that median home price. Why not 100? Because that's where buy and hold. Oh, let me do this.
Seth, that's a great question.
Let's do this.
Can't do 100.
Oh, you mean 100 Airbnbs? I thought you meant 100 grand. We don't want 100 Airbnbs because then we got to build a big giant company
No, we don't want that.
that manages 100 Airbnbs. We're just not. I mean, what you want to make $4 million a month? I mean, that's really. At some point, I just want to drink beer for 4 hours on a.
I want to sling hash. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Still want to sling hash, and so
It sounds like a job.
200 grand. Yeah, you'd be at $2.4 million a year on a 100-home Airbnb.
That one we've got down in
I wouldn't do that.
Surfside. Yeah, I'm trying to think what's a good. Yeah, what are we making on? What's another good Airbnb that we've got? Well, what's your small one in Jersey? What's that making a month?
$1,900 a month.
Yeah, can you imagine having 100 of those?
And it's almost, we don't touch it anymore. We train the cleaner to do
90%
all of it. And we put the camera in the supply closet, so I can just go online and my partner just reorders.
He just sees
what's there and reorders.
That's awesome.
And teach the cleaner, don't screw up.
Yeah, this is it.
Make sure the rack, make sure everything's pushed in the back.
So could you imagine? I mean, we could build to 100 of those, but so 2,000 times 100 because the numbers that's 200 grand a month.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, that's fine, but it just, 100 of those things. I mean, you have to have 2 guys that are just checking closets all day.
4.
Oh, 4 guys?
25 becomes rough.
Yeah. It's hard to scale it. It's hard to scale.
Airbnb is hard to scale. And there's a lot of companies out there that are doing it, but I don't think they do much more than 30 or 50. Right?
I don't think they do it well.
They're going to hit walls and they're going to have quality issues. And for us, we want 2 regions. We want there and here.
Yeah.
Right? And we want 20 to 25 and 20 to 25.
Yeah. That's it.
Beds.
Yeah, beds.
That's it.
And the one we got down south is 5 already. That's got 5 beds in it. So we got capacity for 20 more. That's it.
It's not a lot. And people are like, hey, do you want to manage it and do all that stuff? I mean, I got an investor who gave me a list of 31 properties. Said, Rob, pick one or all of them. Let's do Airbnb. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea the company you're asking me to build right there.
So everybody slow your roll.
I know. It's like $3 million in furniture. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, calm down here.
So let's do the math on this. So your Airbnb in Jersey.
Yeah.
What's the monthly, what's your UPB? What's your unpaid principal balance in that? What's the principal on that one? Do you remember?
No.
So let's call it $2,000 a month. I mean, is it?
My mortgage on it is $3,500, so it's probably
$400,000.
Oh yeah, $400,000.
So
$423 is my mortgage.
Okay, so $423,000.
Yeah,
that's the small one, right?
That's the big one.
No, I'm talking about the small one that you're making $2 grand a month on.
Oh, that one, I don't know. I owe $160 on it.
So $160K.
Yep.
So how fast could you pay that off if you're bringing in $2,000 a month? Now that's net, meaning that does this number.
Yeah.
Includes your mortgage payment already.
Yes.
So this is a $2,000 extra a month.
Yes.
So you get this thing paid off in 24, 5,
80.
7, 8 years. And then you got this thing free and clear.
Yeah.
So you probably add another, $1,000 a month to it?
$1,700.
Oh, it's $1,700.
Yeah,
so
well, minus taxes, Jersey. So yeah, about $1,000. Yeah,
so you make
$3,000.
So get this, guys. Look, I get it. Everybody wants to be a rapper. Everybody wants to, make it rain, all that nonsense. I need a Lambo.
West Coast to the best coast.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Third coast player, third coast. So why don't you just do 10 of these?
4, Seth.
There you go.
4 with 6 more coming online in the next 30
Yeah,
days.
we got a lot coming online. But why don't you just pay this thing off and have 10 of these things and make 30 grand a month?
Yeah.
Pay all your debt off and make 30 grand a month.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're blowing through 30 G's a month, you must have a hell of a crack habit. What are you spending your money on? I mean, now, if you really want to build this huge, big empire, I mean, go for it.
Not with Airbnb. That's a lot of work. You don't want to do that. That's why I tell people, it's like, hey, get 5.
Yeah.
Let's just get 5.
Get 5 and you're making 10 grand a month.
So our April now is 88% occupied.
Oh, you're the big one or the small one in Jersey?
That's the big one. I'm going to make $8,200.
Gross or net?
Gross.
You make $8,200 gross.
So I'll make about $3,000 net.
So $3,000 a month.
Well, let's see.
That's close to the median home income.
This one's less than 50% still. So we'll cover our expenses. We haven't made our profit yet in on the small ones.
So your profit starts at it's 50-60% occupancy.
We run the test for Airbnb is does it break even at 50% occupancy?
So
and then our goal is always 65% occupancy, and then we'll hit months like now where we're at 88 and we'll go over 90%.
Speaking of which, if you guys want to join our Airbnb mastermind, we are doing that now. So if you are interested, shoot me a message, put a post in here, and we'll get to you. So we're going ahead and open it up the mastermind to the Airbnb folks and a few other select people. The mastermind is a much higher level than this. It's much more sophisticated than this.
We have an 8-week class at $9.97 Sunday nights. We go into it really depth. Got to do homework and stuff. No one's doing stuff for you. You got to really learn it, figure it out, know your codes, talk to your call City Hall. There's homework to do, right? And then after that, to be a part of the yearly mastermind, $7,500.
Yeah,
which is
nothing.
You're gonna make that
on one deal in 2 months.
It'll be fine. Show you how to find them. Show you how to finance them. That's a real trick.
Yeah, that is a trick.
Right, that's the throttle with everyone, right? Like you've got a very successful person up in Fort Worth. She's buying lots of apartments, all that stuff, and her throttle is
how do you finance?
How do I get $25,000 to pay for furniture, coffee makers, towels, bed sheets, makeup things, and things like that? And so, yeah.
All right, guys.
I think that was pretty good. That was a good show. So tomorrow morning, guys, we're on 11:10 a.m. here in Houston. Business Radio, KTEK. KTK. And we'll be on from 7 to 8.
Yep.
And we'll be we're a little more serious in the morning. I felt like it was. I'm not sure if I'm not awake or I'm just.
You guys have to see the. Well, I don't know when the video comes out.
Oh, that's horrible. You guys are.
Rob walks in the first day in the studio. A-Rock is sitting in the corner watching, and Rob walks in like this. It's just like. He was like, I told my wife, I was like, he's got this look on his face like, I don't want to do any of this crap. I walk into the studio at 6:30 in the morning. So somebody.
I have not found the right. What's. I'll tell you the problem with A-Rock. Here's my problem with A-Rock. There's only 10 of you on.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with his lens. I look way too big on camera.
That's the lens.
It must be the lens, right? So now I'm like, oh, crap, I got to lose weight.
I got to start working out.
Right, so I've been doing my steps and I'm doing my miles every night, and I'm very happy about that. But there's always a little cookie time, right? I got to get rid of the cookie time. If I can, I know how to do it. I've done it many, many times before. I change out cookie time for decaf at night. If I can just do a large decaf from Dunkin' Donuts, I don't need the cookie.
Oh, that's interesting.
I just need something, right? A little taste, a little something different than broccoli. And if I can do salad or Chipotle or something like that for lunch, and a shake for, I'll drop 20, no problem at all. So we're working on it. And so that was, I saw.
I've watched a couple of these videos, and I'm like,
not good. We got to do something.
Been doing a little too much real estate.
Yes, a lot of real estate at the bar.
Yeah, right? Which is funny because I actually have to go to St. Arnold's today. So. Do you have a website where all this stuff is listed, shows event? We are working on it today.
Yeah, I think we have. Is it www.american
REMU/home/home /home.
Boy, that is a really tough one right there. We're upgrading that. Check that out, Scott.
We are, I promise you, we are.
Yep.
We're really good at real estate. We are not so great at some of this other stuff.
No good.
Really good at answering questions, really good at masterminds, fantastic at marketing and sales and Airbnb. And
I'm really good at crawling in the crawl space.
But this is some of the stuff we've got. And that's why if you guys seen Veronica coming on board, she's going to help us out immensely. She's absolutely amazing. Yep. So we are super pumped about that.
Good. And then we'll get that camera lens fixed.
Yeah, we'll get the camera lens fixed. It's going to take about 6 months.
90 days.
90 days.
90 days. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great rest of your day.